My name is Samuel. Reserves for the SE channel. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe as much as you can. Please take your vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc tablets. Okay, please just do that. Okay, works for me. Okay, do your own research, obviously, and yes, tonic water, very important. I drink it. It's got a little bit of quinine. Okay, hydroxychloroquine. Okay, do your own research. Can't say too much. China Tube is listening. Anyways, let's get real over here. I'm actually at the Oxfam International. Once in a blue moon, I get emails, whatever, and then I was reading something else in Oxfam, and all of a sudden I see this. Mega rich recoup COVID-19 losses. Um, in record time yet, billions will live in poverty for at least a decade. Read it again. Mega rich recoup COVID-19 losses in record time, yet billions will live in poverty for at least a decade, for at least 10 years. I believe that. I mean, Oxfam International, I don't really follow them that much, but sometimes they come with decent, stories like this one here. Let's just read it, okay? 1,000 richest people in the planet, we know who they are, right? Recoup their COVID-19 losses with just 9 months. Okay, I mean, just look at, I don't know, Google and Apples and of the world and Microsofts of the world and unbelievable, Amazon. I mean, these people got rich. I'm not gonna name names. I mean, you guys know who they are. It says, but it could take more than a decade for the world's poorest to recover for economic impact of this pandemic. Okay, a lot of lost jobs, and this whole Green New Deal stuff. Like, they're not recovering jobs unless you want to become a turbine mechanic. I don't know what that means, but anyways, reveals a new Oxfam report as the inequality virus is being, that's what they're calling it. The inequality virus is being published on the opening day of the World Economic Forum of Davos agenda. Well, like I said, the World Economic Forum, it's in Davos, it's Switzerland. I've been following it for the past maybe even 10 years. I knew a lot of stuff that was going forward because all you got to do is just look at the World Economic Forum in Davos. They always have an agenda, and this agenda comes in a year or 2 or 3 years later. So I listen. That's very important. The World Economic Forum. If you guys want to really know what's going to happen in the future, they're telling you, the globalists, the elite of the elite of the elite, that 1% of 1% of 1%, which is like 1,000 people in this world, okay, make the decisions, okay, and that's how I know sometimes some of these trends. The report shows that COVID-19 has potentially increased economic inequality in almost every. Oh, duh! Look at around time. Now, rising inequality means that it could take up to 14 times longer for the number of people living in poverty. Okay, 14 times longer. Okay, then it will take the top 1,000 mostly white males, billionaires, to bounce back. And these are the people are telling us what to do, and they're woke, and we're talking about NBA owners and football owners, and I'm nothing against the capitalist world, but when they say 1,000 white males, but anyways, it's a question mark there. A new global survey of 295 from 79 countries, commissioned by Oxfam, reveals that 87% of respondents, including Jeffrey Sachs, expect to increase a major increase in income inequality in the countries. Well, we all know that. We see that people are in lineups. We're waiting for handouts. Tens of thousands, tens of millions of jobs around the world, especially in the restaurant business and whatever, little business. I always say, for communism to come or socialism to come to Canada, U.S. and Western countries, they have to destroy the one or two businesses, people, 10 business, 20, 30. That's how it starts. So they got to start with the small businesses, then they go to medium-sized businesses, you know, and then we're only going to end up with um, only the big box stores. That's it. The super rich, the Walmarts of the world, the Costco's of the world. Um, that's how socialism and then communism started. You got to kill these little businesses. They don't want you to be a businessman. That's how socialism is. You got to work for the state. Wake up, liberals. Oxfam report shows that the economic system is enabling the super rich elite to amass wealth. Well, the great while billions of people are struggling. Yeah, a lot of people are struggling. They can't pay the rent. They lost their jobs. Some of them, okay, fine. If you're in the technology world, you work at home and all that. If you work for the government, cushion. But the rest, they're having a hard time. The recession is over for the richest. The world's 10 richest men have seen their combined wealth increase by $500 billion since the pandemic began. $500 billion, man. More than enough to pay for COVID-19 vaccine for everyone to ensure that no one is pushed into poverty. At the same time, the pandemic has ushered in the worst job crisis over 90 years, which is true. It's not really widely reported, but it's bad. It is bad. Maybe things might be getting a little bit better, but it is bad. There's a lot of businesses will never recover, never. If you're that one or two people business or the five people business, it's very hard to recover. Well, that's how socialism starts. They don't want you to have a business. They want you to work for the government. They want you to beg for handouts. Well, this is America, man. We're not into that shit. Women are the hardest hit yet again. Globally, women are compressed into low-paid, precarious jobs. They're hardest hit, of course. A lot of single women. Very hard for them. I know a few of them. Very hard. They're having a really tough time. Before this COVID, they had a hard time, but now it's really hard. If women were represented the same rate as men in these sectors, 112 million women would no longer be at high risk of losing their income and jobs. Women also make up roughly 70% of the global health. Yeah, they're right. They're 100% right on this one. Inequality is costing lives. Afro descendants in Brazil are more likely to die of COVID-19 than white people. While nearly 22,000 Black and Hispanic people in the United States will still be alive experiencing COVID-19 mortality rates. Okay, with a little politics here involved here, but right. I mean, because what I've learned is that if you're deficient of vitamin C and vitamin D and zinc also adds. Look, I'm not an expert, okay, my opinion, but what I've been reading the past year is that if you take vitamin C and vitamin D, that's what I'm saying, or just take the sun. That's how you get your vitamin D. Some people of color obviously don't take the sun. I mean, they don't need to get tanned or something, So that's why they should supplement into vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc tablets. Okay, so just do that, please. Okay. Like I said, I don't have proof, but works for me. Do your research if you know what I mean. Alrighty. So fair economics are a key to economic recovery. Okay. Temporary tax on excess profits made by 32 global corporations that have gained the most during the pandemic could have raised 104 billion. This is enough to provide unemployment benefit. Gabriella Bush, okay. We stand to witness the greatest rise in inequality since the record. The deep divide between the rich and the poor is proving as deadly as the virus. They're just waking up to this. It's horrible what's happening out there. I mean, you can look, at this article. Okay, it's a little bit. You may not like everything that you say, here about whites and this and that, but at the end of the day, Oxfam is right. There's a lot of inequality out there. People are hurting. Doesn't matter if you're white, if you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're green, yellow, blue, whatever it is. We're all hurting. You know, even when they demonetize me here and I can earn an extra $100 or $200, here on YouTube. I hope that you guys are listening. They don't care. So women and marginalized racial and ethnic groups are bearing the brunt of this crisis, of course. That's why we had Donald Trump. Now, now God knows. Billions fortunes rebounded, the stock market recovered despite continued recession in the real economy. The total wealth hit 11, almost $12 trillion. I don't know how this market keeps going up and 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 up. It just keeps going. I don't know, either that or the usually sometimes there's a correlation between the U.S. dollar and the stock market. As the U.S. dollar comes down, the market goes up because it's cheaper to buy stocks internationally. The total wealth hit $12 trillion. Yeah, well, that's what's going to happen. It's. I mean, if you go back to Donald Trump the last 4 years, there's a lot of the Hispanics, blacks, were starting to work. A lot of great jobs out there. Now, I don't know. Now, who knows? So anyways, the mega rich recoup. So I don't, maybe an old story or whatever, but this comes from Oxfam. Something is yet to happen. Probably they're going to start taxing high, let's say some of these high corporations, which they should in some ways. But then again, if they do, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. It's like there's some sort of balance over here. Anyways, take a look at this. I'll put a link here if you guys want to read it. Okay. What you have to understand about this is the fact that it will take 14 times longer for people who are, for the average person to return back to pre-pandemic level. 14 times longer. Is that 14 times years? Is that 14 times months? I don't know. But the 1,000 the plus people made first of all, they made a lot of money in the stock market. I mean, really, their shares went up. Those Teslas of the world and all that. But I have a feeling some of these socialists are going to come and start taxing them to death, and then they're going to have to cut jobs. So it works both ways. What the solution should be is open everything up. Open everything up. Wear masks. 1 meter distance, 2 meter distance, whatever it is. Open everything up. The vaccines are here. I mean, that's how you start an economy. What are you going to wait till next year? Like I said, socialism already is here. It's in America. So many. It always starts. They always go after the small little businesses. That's how it starts. Okay, they don't want you to be aggressive. They don't want you to start businesses. They don't want you to be on your own. No, only the big. It's like Mexico. Just look at Mexico. It's the very, very, very rich, or it's the very, very, very poor. End the story. Take care. God bless.